What's going on, my PT peeps and my Walking Dead family? Welcome to the PT channel. I'm One Eye Bri, back to talk about The Walking Dead Season 9, Season 10, the movies, the future of The Walking Dead, and how it may end. So obviously, spoiler warning for the entire series of The Walking Dead, Season 8, Season 9, and if you don't want to know this information, stop watching now. Seriously, stop watching now if you don't want to know this stuff we're going to talk about and our theory. So how does The Walking Dead end? I think the comic and the show will have way different endings, and the comic will go on for a long time. On this channel, we have a bunch of different theories, discussions, just fun videos. People love to talk about different theories. We have a cursed Judith theory, we have an orange backpack theory, and a bunch of great discussion and theory videos. Now, Judith could be the key for The Walking Dead ending, the series finale, whenever that is. But Judith, if she makes it to season 20, could look like this. Nah, I'm just kidding. Credit to the creator, whoever made this. Pretty funny stuff. It may give you nightmares, but it just shows the point that Judith is Shane and Lori's baby. But we all thought that Carl Grimes would be the future of the show, and one of, if not the last person standing on the show, well, him and Daryl, because you know Daryl's going to be there to the end, right? But Carl may be the ending point in the comics, but not for the show now, obviously, because Chandler Riggs is off the show, Carl was killed off the show, and they could have kept the Carl Grimes character and got rid of Chandler Riggs in the time jump. They could have had an older character. It makes sense, but Scott Gimple, the writers, the executive producers, the people up at the tippy top of AMC and The Walking Dead got rid of Carl. Either way, we have to move on, right? And I just love when people are like, Carl's gone, get over it already. Well, relax, it's a discussion point and people do miss Carl. But where did Rick go is the big topic of discussion. Did he go to Ohio, DC, New York, across the country, across the globe, on an aircraft carrier? Are they working on a cure? Are they working on this? Are they working on that? What's up with the A's and B's? How does JUDITH know these people? And we just don't know yet. But Scott Gimple, who I believe is writing all three movies, well, at least the first movie for sure, we'll see how it does, right? Said that we will get answers about JUDITH, about Rick, the A's and B's, and what really happened to Rick over the 6 years when he left The Walking Dead. Now, this person on YouTube and Instagram sent me this. Per the person here, I don't know if it's a male or a female, but they said this to me in an Instagram direct message. A represents a test subject that is infected. Each time JUDITH had an A, she would purposely infect them and ship them off as the organization that has Rick is working on a cure. Hence why they preferred A's over B's. B are friendlies. It's obvious that JUDITH captured Heath and served him as an A. So the big mystery of A and B is now defined. A is infected and B are friendlies. Rick and JUDITH are at a place that is working on a cure, or perhaps to weaponize walkers. What they do beyond that, I don't know. All I know is the A and B mystery. So the person said it's legit and they wanted credit, so there you go. I'm not sure if it's confirmed or not, and we'll have to wait and see, but right now I just gotta put it as a theory. But Rick is gone. He's been gone off the show for 6 years. What have you been doing for all that time? That's crazy to think that Rick has left Michonne, Daryl, Carol, JUDITH for 6 years. We saw JUDITH in the same episode that Rick went away. There should be a big connection with the future of the show, the series, the Walking Dead universe with JUDITH, because Rick went away and really the next big character that we saw was JUDITH saving Magna's group. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think the time jump was done to age JUDITH. It was done on purpose. And if you know this channel, you know that I love older JUDITH and I hope she's around for a long time. And now we got to talk about the radio, because ultimately it was shown on purpose. It was kind of foreshadowed in season 8, and then in season 9 we saw it. Father Gabriel is connected with the radio on the show. In the comics, it's Eugene. Eugene talks to a woman at the Commonwealth, and it's important because we don't know if it's exactly going to happen that way, but if you remember the pig, I think it was foreshadowing with Father Gabriel and the radio to connect with JUDITH and Rick and the community that they went to. And the ham radio, the radio frequency, they would only reach so far. And probably they were trying to boost the signal over the 6 years. And it's interesting that it's Father Gabriel who is connected with JUDITH in season 9 that the radios were kind of set up for. So The Walking Dead, I believe, has a plan. And the season 8 episode with the radios right here happened for a reason. And it just makes sense, right? So Father Gabriel is connected with the radios in season 8 and season 9. And it's pretty interesting that he's connected with JUDITH in season 9, the radios, and Rosita. Rosita went out to boost the signal, amplify the signal. So they couldn't reach very far, I'm guessing, with the frequency from the radio, so they had to boost it and do something so they could reach more of an area with the radio transmissions. And they did that after Rick went away, after 6 years passed. So they were trying to reach someone via the radio, but now they can reach someone even farther because they boosted the signal. Now they can reach JUDITH, right? Or someone from the Commonwealth or whatever community they're going to. In the comics, it's Stephanie at the Commonwealth. And for the movies, it could be JUDITH. I mean, there's no way it's by chance that JUDITH and Father Gabriel really got together in the first half of season 9. That's got to be setting up something, right? The only one that knew that JUDITH went away in a helicopter or had the ability to get away in a helicopter is Father Gabriel. Now, did Father Gabriel tell anyone? We don't know because he didn't say anything. It didn't come up. That hasn't been talked about. But Father Gabriel is with Rosita. Did he tell Rosita? Is that what's happening here? Now, it's more than likely that Rosita is telling Father Gabriel that she's pregnant, maybe with Siddiq's baby, or maybe she doesn't get that far. But ultimately, there's a love triangle, quadrangle, square, rhombus, whatever you want to call it. Rosita, Siddiq, Father Gabriel, Eugene, whoever else, and it's complicated. Eugene is with Rosita in the comics. Eugene is also the person who connects with the radio. So is that Father Gabriel's part? Will Father Gabriel make it into season 10 and into the movies? Will Rosita? Will Siddiq? Will Eugene? We just don't know yet, but I would assume this love triangle has to complicate things with Father Gabriel and the radio and Rosita and this and that, and it's very interesting. Now, Robert Kirkman has been pretty hush-hush and said some misleading things about this and that and the cure aspect, and he doesn't want to do that. But ultimately, how can you wrap up the Walking Dead TV show and series if it's not with a cure, right? I mean, you can do whatever you want. Maybe they film a couple more seasons and a couple more movies and they take a big break and then they do a reboot. Because we got to have the Walking Dead on for a long, long time, right? But let's talk about Rick Grimes and where he went. Now, we don't know just yet. They're probably going to start filming the movies pretty soon, I would assume, in 2019 for a late release 2019 or 2020. I'm not sure exactly, but Rick Grimes went away. And I would assume the first time we see him in the movies, he'll be in a hospital bed just like he was on the show. I think it's going to be very similar to that, because why wouldn't it be? You want things to be familiar, right? Rick Grimes in a hospital bed for the show, start him off what we're familiar with, what we're comfortable with, and there. So it should pick up right after Rick made it to the community. At least I would assume so, right? Then we'll have a time jump at some point 6 years later where they've been or they've been trying to reach someone via the radio and here and there in other communities, maybe reaching people via the radio, throughout the country, throughout the world. But is it a coincidence that Toledo is written on a sign on this tree? We got HQ, Oceanside, Alexandria, Sanctuary, and Toledo. No kingdom, but we have Toledo. Why is Toledo there? When have we ever been connected with Toledo? Is it Toledo, Ohio? Why not? And yes, it's a MASH Easter egg, you can say, but when have we had a MASH Easter egg ever before? Now, we saw this on MASH. Well, if you see the pictures, it's there. But also, the Commonwealth has been seen on the windmill right there at Hilltop. Now, Virginia is a Commonwealth state, but you didn't have to put that on the windmill, right? You could have put nothing on there. You could have put, farmland or this or that or whatever, but Commonwealth is pretty big. And if you know the comics, you know the Commonwealth is a huge community that's in the comics right now. It's in Ohio. So is that a coincidence? I don't think so. I think The Walking Dead does little things and Easter eggs on purpose. So Toledo, Ohio, Commonwealth, Ohio. And I just think it makes sense to stick to the comic storyline, have the movies be about the Commonwealth and that community right there. Now, who goes to find Rick at some point, right? It's got to happen. Michonne's got to go. Daryl maybe, Judith, RJ, and for the simple fact that Rick is gone, and the only people that talk about Rick and go to look for Rick are Daryl and Michonne. And I don't think Daryl's done giving up on Rick. Judith's got to go, right? RJ, that's got to be the next other choice. But Judith, RJ, Michonne, and Daryl make the most sense. And so let's think about the possible cure aspect. Now, if everybody's infected, we're in trouble. But what if the babies that were born in the zombie apocalypse, like Judith, like RJ, like Herschel, like Gracie, like maybe other babies there at the Commonwealth, we'll just say Commonwealth because we don't know the community, but the other community, that could be a possible cure. What if the only way to cure the world is to get some antibodies or something from a baby that was born during the zombie apocalypse. You got RJ, you got Judith, well, a child in the zombie apocalypse, right? Because they're older now. Just makes sense. So that could be the possible way to wrap it all up in a nice bow. Cure, Judith, RJ, Daryl, Michonne, Rick, all reunited, all is well, right? Well, I don't think it's going to happen in a nice happy package, but Michonne is leaving the show in season 10, and the early word is that she'll be in the first half and or second half in a handful of episodes. So probably about 5 or 6 episodes. We'll see what that means. There's been talk in the past about Lauren Cohan and Maggie and Andrew Lincoln being Rick for 5 or 6 episodes, and it was 5 episodes. So that's what Michonne might have. That might be the new deal now. 5-episode deal. A lot of money for 5 episodes. But it just makes sense that Michonne goes to meet Rick, and that's how her character ends. You got to bring Judith with you, right? I mean, RJ and Judith got to go with Michonne to meet Rick, right? Well, that's my take. I think the radio will come into play. Michonne will eventually find out where Rick is. They'll get into another helicopter or another way to get to wherever they're going, maybe horseback to Ohio. And it could be interesting. The Commonwealth could be seen in the movies, not the show. But what do you think, guys? How does it end? And if we keep losing more and more characters on the show, it's got to eventually end, right? We'll see if we get 11 seasons or 12 seasons of the show and the movie. So let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. How do you think it ends? If you love The Walking Dead and just being entertained, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to get notifications. Thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, staying positive, making memories. And as always, tell them, Daryl.
Yo, we love you guys. Honestly, thank you.